Oh no, this is the complaining episode, or more than even complaining. I don't know. I don't know. Is there another word of like super complaining, ultra complaining, extra complaining? I don't know. Are we recording? I think we are. Okay. Last time
I think
I did not press the
we are.
button. This time I did. We are recording. All right, let's start. All right, everybody, welcome to Third and Too Long, another Jets podcast. Gene just took off his glasses so he could look a little better. We did not have an episode last week, and I have to say, I would take the blame because I was too depressed after the Cards game. So I'll have to talk a little bit about the game against the Cardinals, and then this week I'm working through the stages of grief that I'm not depressed anymore. Now I'm confused and maybe pissed. So that's kind of where we are. So welcome to the show. Gene is on as usual, and my brother and Gene's cousin Dean, who's been on now and then, is on with us for the whole show this time. So this will be exciting.
kind of I'm kind of like the snuffleupagus of this Jets podcast. So
Only
you, you watch all morning waiting for snuffleupagus to come on, and then he shows up. So,
You know, how look Snuffleupagus. I'm loving it. When was the last time I ever heard that? I couldn't tell you.
for those of us who is he still on the show with the Snuffleupagus? I haven't watched Sesame Street in a long time. I don't know. I don't know. Do we have to explain that reference for people?
maybe I
All
don't know
right.
how to explain it, to be honest.
All right, where do you guys want to start? Do you want to reel back to the Jets versus Arizona Cardinals game, just for a quick, because we did have some predictions. We were all wrong.
Well, yeah, we're all wrong. Here's where I think we were close. We talked about saying how many quarters are we actually going to see from the Jets? How many quarters are they going to play?
Right,
Right?
exactly. How many quarters of professional football will we be enjoying in the Cardinals game? Dean said one, uh,
I think
and
I was even wrong.
I said three.
I think I had one. I would have been happy with two, but I think I said one. I would have to go back and look.
How many do we think we really got though? Do we think we got one? Dean, you had one. Did we even get one?
Oh,
You know,
I think we got like a quarter of one. I think so.
because my first, talking about it, the first word that comes to mind, even before talking about the quarter, is just the word is just disappointing, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
when you start off with your first thought is disappointing, it's pretty disappointing. You know, oh my
disappointment.
gracious.
Disappointment is disappointing. There's no question about it.
Yeah, especially coming off of that nice win against the Texans and then just coming right in and just absolutely falling apart. Like everything that they did in the previous game, they did not repeat. Like they
Right.
just threw it all away and they were like, well, let's just go and just everybody just play whatever position you want. Let's just go have fun.
Everybody
Yeah,
go deep.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Here's my saddest stat from the Arizona Cardinals game. If you're ready for this one, the vaunted Jets defense missed 20 tackles.
Yes.
20
Yeah.
tackles for what's supposed to be one of the best defenses, and it's at least a feared defense in the NFL.
Each week we keep talking about this, how this top tier defense, we have yet to see it. We've seen it one, maybe two quarters, right?
Right.
It's not. We have to take that right out of the thought process because they're not.
Well, they gave up. They gave up.
They didn't.
You know.
And you know what? And it starts with what we talked about as well. It starts with the leadership. There is none.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Well, that's it.
Exactly. Well, there is leadership. There's too many cooks in that kitchen. And then you bring Rodgers into the mix, who is probably was really the leader his whole career in Green Bay. right? And now he is in, so everybody has an opinion and everybody is trying to do something, but there's no continuity. That's the problem. There's not one central leader to really move the herd, across the pasture for sure. So I think that's a big issue, and firing all these people isn't really helping. So it's
That's
I don't know what this is doing.
that's why we're recording this right after the announcement came down that Joe Douglas has been fired,
Oh,
which
that's right.
I'm not, I'm not sure how I feel about that. But Dean, I want to just tag on to your point. And Gene, this made me think of you. I was watching an old video of Troy Aikman on the sideline of a game, and he's chewing out anyone he can find. The water boy, the cheerleaders, the offensive line. He is going up and down the sideline, chewing them a new butt. I mean, he's the leader of that team. It's clear. You don't see that anymore.
No, you don't. No, it's you just don't. What are they worried about feelings? This is warriors on the field.
Right.
I'm over that. And you know, back to Dean's point. Rodgers, the leader, right? He's been a leader his whole field, his whole team, his whole career. And there is too many leaders because if everybody does something, then nobody's doing something, right? So I get that too many cooks, but what you just said, you don't see. And maybe Rodgers needs to do that because somebody's got to step up. I haven't. The Rodgers comes down and he sits on the bench. He's sulking.
Right.
The first two games he's on his iPad. He's checking it out. All right, we're gonna figure this out. A couple games later, we're gonna figure this out. Now it's like he's just sitting down.
He needs to break the iPad over somebody's head. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see a Brady move. We used to always complain, oh, look, he's such a baby. Yeah, he's a baby. And he's slamming stuff and he's throwing stuff and he's pissed off. Like, show me something. Show me something.
We've been talking
I
about that for
wonder,
weeks.
yeah, I wonder with Rodgers, coming into this Jets game, if it's just more about personal performance, right? Is it something with him that he's got to prove that he's still got it? He is still a good quarterback. So, and that's why he's not rallying the troops because he's maybe blaming himself on some of this. I don't know. You've amassed a team of great players, right? All these guys are individually wonderful, but together they they can't get out of their own way. And that's a leadership issue. How somebody's got to bring these guys together.
You know,
Well,
and
is he a
All-Star
good
team.
quarterback, or is that really a fact and evidence? I mean, he's been very uneven. You know,
That's true.
He's been uneven too, but you know what? All right, let's go back. Typical. He's fallen into being a Jets quarterback, so immediately he's he's immediately on the defensive, right?
right,
He's so
right.
it's it. Like he needs that extra half a second. He needs that extra second. He doesn't have this. You can go back and see he doesn't have the movement. Yes, he used to scramble. He didn't run a lot, but he scrambled, ran too, but he had a lot of movement, and that's what made him so. And he was very accurate. So now he can still be accurate. He's got a couple of bad throws, and now it's magnified when that happens, right?
Right.
But at
And
the
he's
same
not getting
token,
that
he's
extra
still
half second.
he's
He's
not
getting
getting it, and he
two
needs it.
point two to throw the ball. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. He's just not getting it, and yeah, there's a lot of factors, frustration, everything's coming to play there.
Well,
So,
let's look at the I was so excited after the Texans game, and then the Cardinals game. We all predicted the Jets would win. We had Gene, you had 23-17. I had 28-17. Dean had 28-17. The actual score, the Jets scored 6 points, and Arizona scored 31. And that's and Arizona's a team that I always felt like we talked about this last week, that was kind of on the same level as what I thought the Jets would be, and they just got smoked by the Cardinals.
you know, aside from getting smoked, you know what? I have to keep going back to leadership. It
Yes.
just it just drives me insane. The coach, right? Old Reich, whatever.
You don't
He's
have
on
to
a press
remember his
conference.
name. He's not going to be around long.
That's right. Doesn't. I've heard his
He's
voice.
just a guy.
Obviously, I forgot who it is. He's on. If you watch, like I watched the press conference, and he spent 5 minutes blaming himself, taking it for the team. He's taking it like it's my
Right.
fault.
Okay.
It's all me. Everything was all me. I get that. Yes, I get it. All right, that's cool. It's nice you want to accept all the blame and point your fingers at me. No, I got an idea. None of this crap is working for you. How about this? How about back to Troy Aikman on the sideline? How about doing that in the press conference and go, you know what? My guys stink. How about saying that to the press? Because I want that to get back to the locker room.
Right.
Listen, guys, I'm not standing in front of all these cameras and trying to defend you guys anymore. I'm like, enough's enough, right? Somehow, some way, we need some emotion to pull this together, right, guys? You're professionals, and enough. That's great. You want to take the blame, but enough of that.
Gene, go.
Enough of
We
that.
got you. Well, let's put you in.
Yeah,
Head coach.
yeah. Come in.
The first words in the locker room at the half are, "You guys suck."
Right.
That's the first words, right? Right. Let's
They,
start the
they know it.
conversation.
Look,
Yeah,
look.
at some point, you got to change it up.
Yeah. Well, look. Here's the stats from the Colts game. Let's move on to the Colts. Which not even a game. Let's just say debacle. I mean, disappointment isn't hard enough. So in the first quarter, Jets passing yards in the first quarter against now the Colts. The Colts are ranked have allowed the sixth most passing yards this season. The sixth most. In the first quarter, the Jets have passed for 2 yards against a
So,
team that Aaron Rodgers should be tearing apart. And then the first 5 drives, 3 plays 9 yards punt, 3 plays 1 yard punt, 3 plays 1 yard punt, 4 plays 9 yards, give the ball up on downs, and then 3 plays 9 yards punt. That's the first 5 drives. Quit.
Hunter's very tired at the end of this game. That's what you're saying.
I mean, come on.
His value went way up. Like, what's his jersey number? His price sales are soaring right now.
Right, exactly. He was the only guy who probably deserved the ice bath and the rub down after the game. He was working hard.
oh. So in the New York Post, right? They have a great sports section. So they have for the game. It says, the hero and the zero. You know who the hero is?
Who?
The least accurate quarterback in the NFL. Richardson is the hero. We made this guy look like Bart Starr. They're like, what? Like, he was fantastic. If you read his stats, like this guy, he's going to the Hall of Fame. This guy,
Right.
thanks to
Right.
the Colts.
He looked like a
The hero-
genius.
Yeah, he lit too. Yeah, he's like, especially that last drive, genius.
Right. And it's like, and how many times over the years have you seen somebody, Aaron Rodgers or an Aaron Rodgers, caliber quarterback, do that last drive with hardly any time left to get him in position to win the game? I mean,
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers knows how to do that, has done that many, many times. There's nothing.
there's nothing.
I don't want to dunk on
So
Aaron Rodgers, but
I went from hero not to zero.
yeah,
People,
Well, he's got the receiving core, so he's got outside. They brought on Devontae Adams. They've got Wilson, right? They've even, I mean, I don't know. Who's the other kid that they always have on special teams that they sometimes bring in for to be a receiver?
yeah,
He's good too. I mean, they have a
he's very
receiving.
good.
Yeah,
He's
they
fast.
have, and they've got both the tight ends have good hands. Even Brees has good hands.
even Brees has
You know,
good hands. Yeah.
so there's no reason for it, to have that few passing yards. Other than he's not mobile and he's not getting the time, or he's just looking for the home run ball every time.
So, Gene, you said hero to zero. Who was the zero?
The coach. I forgot his name. What's his
The
name
the
again?
coach whose name you can't remember.
I can't remember. It's gone. Zero. Hero to zero. Thank
Man.
you. Okay. The unsung hero. Oh, look at this. Had 2 sacks. Just another player. Okay. Key stats. 29 minutes into the game. Jets picked up the first down. 29 minutes into
29
the game,
minutes.
they got down.
It
Yeah,
was
after gaining 27 yards for the first 27 for the first 5 possessions.
right.
Do you know there was 9 plays and there was 9 yards after 9 plays
That's
at one
yeah,
point. Yeah.
yeah.
And Jamie turns around, looks at me, goes, "Really?" And Jamie, that was it. Jamie was disgusted because I'm done with these guys. Well, of course he watched the rest of the game, but still.
Right, right. Yeah. How many times have we all said that I'm done with these guys? Well,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, the topic that it's kind of fun to dunk on the Jets because they're so, it's so. Here we go again. So, which is kind of what I wanted to talk about. It's like, all right, well, here we go again. So we fired the coach. That didn't help. We've now fired Joe Douglas, who I kind of feel bad about because Joe Douglas. I mean, put the horses in the barn, like Dean was just saying. They got players.
That is a tough one. You know, he assembled it all, but I think maybe he's paying the price for Salah, right? Because I don't think Salah should have been brought back, but I don't think he should have fired him at game 5, right?
Right, right.
Multiple times, is like even last season, multiple times. I don't even want him to come out of the locker room, right? Just duct tape him in and just keep him in, right? That's how I felt. But they did. They brought him back. And then after 5, and I think now this is his latest collapse. He's just another collateral damage, more collateral damage for keeping Salah. It's all, just the leadership is not there, and he's the head of the leadership. And I think you can't blame. I can't blame Woody Johnson. He's you like you said. He's opened the checkbook. He's given them all everything they wanted, and right now they're an embarrassment.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
so on social media, there's been a lot of, "Hey, Woody, sell the team." It's all Woody's fault. And I mean, I guess you can hang a little bit of Salah on Woody. Maybe he stuck with him a little too long. But I just don't see it. What more could you want an owner to do than open the checkbook again and again? Okay, yeah, he went after Aaron Rodgers. Was that the greatest thing in the world? Is that a failed experiment? We should talk about that. But hey, he did it. He took the shot. He's out there taking a shot to try to make the team better. So I mean, I gotta stick up for Woody here. This is a
I'm
this
with
is a
you.
this is a money losing operation for him. But he keeps. What do you want? Oh, you want Aaron Rodgers? All right, I'm gonna go get him for you.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think one of the questions maybe is who's advising Woody, right? This might be the bigger issue, the bigger question, right? Like what really needs to be done? What does Woody see? What, is he being advised by the internal works of the team, or is he being advised by somebody outside the team, right? Everybody is being advised by somebody.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter all the way up the chain. The question is why? Like what is happening? What is the internal strife with this coaching staff? What is happening? And he's opening up the checkbook for sure, but is he giving the checks out in the right places? Right? I just continually look at these other teams and I see, these young quarterbacks, these backup quarterbacks that step up
Yeah.
and they are successful. They are actually producing, and the Jets can't do that. That's my first thing
Yeah.
is who is developing players on that team?
Well, look, but I take a little bit of an issue with that because the Jets got better at almost every position this year. I mean, if you look person to person, position
Right.
by position, they upgraded almost every single position on both sides of the football. Yet they got worse. So
Right. And so
so
did they upgrade coaching?
did
Like
they? I
office.
think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Mhm. Right.
But let me push back. I'll throw this to you and Gene. It's like, all right, so who's it? So people are advising Woody, certainly. What's the advice? I mean, how many times has this team been completely blown up? All right, let's blow it up, guys, and get all new people. Gene? What do you tell Woody if if you're having a beer with him after 18 holes.
Well, I think I tell Woody, don't regret what you just did, because you have to start from the infrastructure, right? So let's go back. Well, I would tell Woody, let me just get rid of the business call. See you. I would tell Woody, let's take a look at what Dean
I like
just said.
Gene just gave the FU button to $1 million deal to keep the podcast
That
going.
did.
That's the way
That's right.
that's the way to play. I wish the Jets
That's
had
right.
that
Nothing
attitude.
more. So who's advising Woody, and what's the structure behind the scenes? Well, take a look at someone like a team like the Steelers, right? That's a good organization,
Has been for
right? So maybe
decades.
that is a little bit on Woody when you take that move all the way back. How long, right? Right? It's the organization from over time, and you can see who's got a stable organization and who doesn't. The Jets haven't had, I feel like I'm contradicting myself, or I'm backpedaling on the supporting Woody on this, but maybe Dean's right too. At that back end, the organization has been a mess, and so I think maybe at this point, I don't think he's being advised at this moment. I think it's just like, you know what, I had enough. Whether I screwed things up in the past, I'm clean. I'm wiping things out from a clean slate, right?
Right.
So I don't know if I gave a good answer on what I would advise Woody, but just like next round's on you, because
Dean, what do you think? What do you think Woody ought to do?
I think he needs to take a seat. I think he needs to keep writing the checks. I think he needs to go to his Nantucket home and relax. And he needs to put some people in place to actually run that organization. I'm just like Gene said, right? The Steelers they're just a solid organization. It just, you don't really seem to see a lot of issues. They get players in there, those players perform, right? Sometimes they're not the best team, right? But they're always a contender and they're always in there. Let's look at the Cowboys, okay? You look at Jerry Jones. He is very much in the business and they're terrible, right? They are terrible. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback until you get to a certain position, and then he's throwing interceptions. He's trying to force plays. I mean, if there's not a relationship there, a connection there between owner and player, right, then it's easy to see where the problems are and where the changes need to be made. And I think that's the problem. I think Woody's too invested in all of these players on a personal note, and he needs to step back and he needs to let some people come in and do what they need to do. Like, let's organize this ship, you know. So let's get positions, let's get leadership, let's rally the troops. And if you don't want to be there, then you don't want to be there going down the road. I think that's kind of a situation. And I think most of the players that are there want to be there, right? I think they want to play with each other because they're all top talent guys. Who wouldn't want to be there? It's like, going to the Yankees. Like, who wouldn't want to go to the Yankees and play? I mean, all the talent that's there.
I mean, previously in previous blow ups, it's always been like, oh my God, who are we going to take? Who are we going to get to take the head coaching job? And we got Robert Saleh after going through a few people, but there's not a big line of A+ coaches who are
it's
ready to
not.
take that job. But now, is it better now? I mean, there is talent on the team. So if you're a Bill Belichick, if you're a Rex Ryan, or do you come back and do this? My advice to Woody, honestly, I'd like to get much younger at all the head coaching and GM positions. I'd like to get younger and more thoughtful and more modern. But do we get a good head coach because we've got some decent talent? And I know Aaron Rodgers is maybe here, maybe not. What do you think, Gino?
I think so. So for myself, right? I'd look at this and go, just exactly what you just said. You know, it's an opportunity to take a position in a large market, and if you're a head coach, right, for an NFL team, and you're aspiring to be one, or if you were one, I think they need an experienced guy coming in, right? You've got the ego for it. So you
Yeah,
should be looking at this as big market, total challenge, a lot of talent. I'm turning this around, right?
I'm in
I want
control.
that. I,
We
yeah,
need an I'm in
I'm in
control
control.
guy.
I want that guy. I
Yeah.
want that guy. Who is he? I don't know. That's a Parcells. That's a Rex Ryan. That's a Belichick. They have that mentality, right? Just like I'm coming in. All right, I'm going to do it. So we just need that alpha dog. Okay, when Salah came in, what was it? Was it all gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
All gas,
Guess
no
no
brakes,
breaks.
whatever. Yeah. Okay, I was on board. Good phrase. I'm in. you know. So like I still have hope for that. So I don't know. Yeah, it's the personality. Yeah. So I don't think somebody at that position wouldn't be afraid um, of the challenge. I want somebody who's not afraid of the challenge, right? Because that's
Because
what it's going to be.
like Patrick Mahomes, right? Brilliant genius, future Hall of Fame quarterback. But make no mistake, that's Andy Reid's team.
100%.
100, and, and
100%.
and the same way when Rodgers was in Green Bay, we all knew whose team it was. It's that, and the same with Tom Brady and Belichick. Tom Brady, brilliant quarterback, that was Bill Belichick's team, and that's what we need, whether Rodgers stays or not.
Well, you know what? Speaking of that, I mean, he said he's on for next year. You know,
Well, what else is he going to do?
yeah. Well, not like he needs the money. What's he going to do? He's going to get sacked some more. It's going to do.
Oh man, well, do you think he stays another year? What do you think, Dean? One more year out of the old.
Mm.
This is a bad way to go out.
I think
Even
it's a
even
terrible way
Favre
to go
was
out,
even
and
Favre was
and
nine.
unfortunately, I think if given the opportunity, I think he stays. But I think again, though, right as a leader, if Rodgers is this leader, then he has got to help select a backup quarterback, and he has got to be there, and he's got to work this guy right into that position. Nobody else is doing it to work any of these guys into the positions. We do not need to waste time going after Daniel Jones. We do not need, we have Tyrod Taylor, and if he had the right coaching and he had the right stuff, could he be something? Right? Geno Smith turned into something. Right? Alex Smith turned into something. All of these old quarterbacks turned into something. And it seems like with the Jets, our best seasons lately have been when our starting quarterbacks were not available, right? Look at the Fitz, right? He
Right.
came in and he had one of the best seasons, right? And then Rodgers went down and Zach came in. It was not a good season, but it was better than the season that we have,
Yeah.
right? But
Right.
what if that kid really had the structure that he needed to be a great quarterback?
And,
Not
and what
expect
what if Wilson
form on his
had
college laurels.
what if Wilson had this offensive line
Yeah,
playing the way
maybe.
they are, and
Right.
had because look, I think for Zach Wilson, he would have dreamed of having 2 seconds to throw the football.
Right.
Yeah.
That would have
Right.
been
And
that would have been a dream to have that much to just to have the ball and be able to stand for a full second. Never happened for him.
Right. Right. You
and
know,
he would have a choice to run out of the pocket and throw it on the run.
What?
He didn't have a choice. He would have a choice because he could throw on the run.
Yes,
Kid got a rock. You're
but he
right.
was just
And
running for his life, which is a different running scheme. All right,
right. And I
enough
think the other
complaining.
part of this whole thing too was we have to remember that it was this Rodgers Hackett experiment, right? I mean, the whole offensive scheme was designed around Rodgers and everything was designed around Rodgers and Hackett, right? And that's all been disrupted. So, what the hell are we doing now?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. What are we doing? And it's just and it's got to be so frustrating. And I do feel bad. I feel bad for Woody because he's the only guy left. But you've got all this
Yeah.
talent and they're not executing. And it's just like and you sort of hoped Aaron Rodgers would have this kind of coach impression on the other players, this sort of
Yeah.
natural leadership. And for some reason, it is not happening.
Well, just going back to the defense, and I think I just wanted to bring this up, right? With everybody who isn't a Sauce Gardner fan, right?
Right.
I mean, Locke, he could be at least, well, this year he's struggling, been holding a lot because maybe he's been a little exposed, right? Okay. But still, he's your lockdown guy.
Yeah.
What the hell? Did you see that drive? And when he get that deep pass that set up before they got to the elevator, I was driving in the car going to pick up the grandchildren, and then listening to this, and then I saw replays. Connor, where were you? Well, that wasn't the play that was called. He gets off his man on the most important drive of the game.
Right.
2 minutes left, 3 minutes left, whatever the timeline, but it was their last drive to win the game. And Garner covers him, bails out. Safety didn't come over in time. Boom, 29-yard reception, 27, whatever it was.
Right.
Sets up the next play, then they score and they win. It's over. Like, to me, that was the play. Close it down. Lost the game. Right? Where were you? You fell apart. Sauce Gardner, I don't know. Can I blame him, or do you blame the play call? Right? Whoever called the play, and then the safety didn't get over in time. I don't know if you guys saw that replay
Yeah.
and checked it all out.
Yeah.
Very frustrating. So Garrett Wilson, I was real down on at the beginning of the season. He's having a fantastic now. He's racking his stacks up, and he's looking real good on offense. Sauce Gardner, he's definitely struggled a little bit this year, but this play was the most hideous, the horrendous play.
It looked like a mistake.
I don't get
It
it.
looked like a mistake. And whether it was a mistake
It
in the
was.
play call or a mistake in his own coverage, it did not. It looked like a screw up.
Yeah.
But can you blame Sauce though, right? You really have to blame the whole entire team for putting him in that position. Right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It is a team. It is a team effort, right? The team loses and the team wins together, right? And the team.
Yeah.
But another Jets game where they have stolen defeat from the jaws of victory. So it's it was
So-
depressing in that way.
I want to take on you real quick. The report card from the New York Post. Offense. Whether we agree, we don't have time to dive into it, but offense, C minus.
That's generous. I mean, all right,
Defense.
they scored. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say that. They were scored 27 points, 28 points.
I'll give them that. They came
All
back. They played a half. They played,
Although the
they
defense
picked-
scored 6 of those points, right?
yes.
Okay.
All right. Defense, a D. Well, after that last drive, it should be an F minus one. But anyway, so a D. Special teams, C plus.
Okay.
Positive going on,
Okay.
and then coaching, the big F.
Big F.
Got the big F. So,
You know what? I get it. And yeah, Sauce Gardner did mess up on that last play, but look, they contributed 6 points on the scoreboard and held them under 30. Although the Colts are not a great team, we made them look like geniuses.
yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up with a little bit of good news. I did notice that yesterday, all the everything on the Jets website is 30% off. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll see 40% off.
I think so.
All right, no predictions this week. We are going into the bye week, so hopefully we will survive that.
I do have a prediction for this next week, and as I predict that 50% of the players just do not come back. they just
go.
stay on holiday.
My hamstring. I got a hip tendon thing. I got a.
Here's what could be good. Prior to the Colts game, all week, Holbrook emphasized tackling. They spent all week tackling.
Yes, as they
did.
should.
Well, as they should, but they completely forgot they had some offensive responsibilities, right? So they did nothing in the first half. Then they had to realize. So what's going to be this week? This next 2 weeks? What are they focusing on? What are we going to focus on? Tackling, maybe coverage.
The basics. That's the thing. This team cannot do the basics well. They just can't. And it's a team that's not playing together.
No. What they need to focus on again. It's It's what they're lacking, right? It's the miracle on ice. They're lacking that team cohesive, put it together. You
At
know,
least we have the Cowboys to look down on. The Cowboys, they did manage to fumble 2 times on one play, which I thought that was, that was a
Oh,
very. I looked at that play and I thought, Jets? Am I watching the Jets?
wait a minute. What color am I watching? Blue? Is it green?
Wait a minute.
Could have
All
been
right,
either.
that is it. Thank you, guys. Any parting words, Dean?
Yeah, it's a really good thing that the Jets main color is green, because that is proven to be a soothing, creative type of color. So
Oh, they're creative, all right. Finding new
All
ways
right.
to lose. All right, that is it
Quick parting quote.
from Talladega Nights.
Bart Scott. Bart
Okay,
Scott. The Jets let dumb football players seem smart.
that is a great.
Losing team.
Oh God, right. And the Colts all look like geniuses now. It's amazing. All right, well, that is it for us. Thank you for listening. Thank you. This episode of Third and Too Long. We'll catch you next time. Gene, best chant in football.
Best chant in the NFL. JETS.
Jets. We still got that going for us. All right, everybody. Thank you. All right, guys.